Welcome back to my favorite podcast, his favorite podcast, possibly our guest's new favorite podcast. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Couple Pines Pod. This week we have Oki, huge,
Hello.
huge YouTube dude. Well, at least in our eyes, a
Yeah,
fellow conspiratorian. Just made that word up. That was fun.
that was a good
Mhm.
word.
And we're gonna get to know him and just fucking chat it up because why not? Episode 90, we're out here, we're chilling.
We're having fun.
Mhm.
So welcome our new friend.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
If I had a soundboard, I'd do like a
Oh yeah, the fake audience clap.
we should get one anyway. So we found Oki on he was the inspiration for the super secret space program episode.
Super soldier.
Yeah, maybe what was that, like 6 eps? I don't know.
I can't
It
remember.
was one of the 80s. It was recent. And you ended up reaching out to us and you were like, hey man, props for that. Not just like reacting to it, but actually not capitalizing on it, but expanding on the idea.
Yeah.
Which
No, it was
led us-
great.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, because most people they'll just they'll watch the video. It's usually Twitch streamers. They'll watch it
Yeah.
and then they'll put it on their YouTube channel, right? But what you guys did is you literally just you clearly wrote notes. You watched it like more than once, and you discussed it for like almost 50 minutes. And there was one point while you guys were talking where you're like, "Okay, if you're watching this, reach out to us."
Yes.
And that worked. I was like, okay, yeah, I will, because I enjoyed it actually.
And here we are.
I mean, that video, if you haven't checked out his YouTube page after watching that video yet, we implore you to go and check out his
Yeah,
videos.
dude, it's some crazy shit. Like I said in that episode, like after we watched that, my girl who doesn't even remotely really care about conspiracies or anything like in this realm was like, put on another one because it's fascinating. Like we have questions for you because I wanna know. I feel like a lot of fucking work goes into this stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I'm gonna start rattling it. I'm just curious, like what
Where's my phone?
do you find this shit on your own, or like do your subscribers, or like where do you get the idea? Because like the topics of these videos are fairly unknown, or like the super space soldier one is out there. Like do you find this, or like are people like, dude, you got to research this and talk about it?
So yeah, when I started making videos, it was all stuff that I knew about. Like I wrote a big list of stuff that I thought was interesting that I already knew about, and that's like my first 5 to like 7 videos. But more recently, I'm lucky enough to have people just like send me stuff, and the secret space program video. I mentioned in the video, it's a guy that I know, Vapes for Christ, who I've come to know through my channel. Yeah, he's got
What
a
a name.
great handle. Yeah, British guy. And yeah, he put me onto this, and immediately I was like, oh yeah, this sounds hilarious.
Yeah, dude, it's
Oh,
very entertaining.
I was
A couple people commented on our video who like claimed to like be these people, and it was the same with the. Have you heard of the Sherry Shriner?
No, what is that?
So she's like this woman who basically formed a cult via YouTube, and she was like basically a preacher, but for a religion she made up. But we put out a video about her, and then like a couple of her followers were like thinking we were serious, and they're like, "Oh, R.I.P. Sherry. She was such an amazing person." But like her whole thing was she got so powerful, she started like putting hits out on people who disagreed with her and shit. It's a crazy story.
Yeah.
Like
But-
assassination
Pretty
hits?
well, one guy she put a hit out on, and then who was like a follower who eventually was like, wait, this is all bullshit. And then she basically talked her followers into like canceling him. And then one of his close friends, who was also a follower, fucking killed him.
Yeah.
And then tried to say that he killed himself, which was wild. And then another girl was so obsessed with the idea of like finding this god that she preached about, that she wandered into the woods during a blizzard and like took off all her clothes and froze to death. So she's responsible for two. It's a crazy fucking story. There's a Hulu documentary on it. That's how I found out about it.
That is insane.
Yeah.
I've never heard about this woman. And so she started on YouTube. Was she like live streaming or like making videos?
No, it's just videos. Her daughter runs the page now.
Yeah, still going.
It like, so she's dead now?
So Sherry herself
she just
is
like, she was old. I think she just died of old age.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now her daughter just like reposts clips of, no, she started on the radio. She had like a public access radio thing. And then that started getting big. So she took it to Facebook when she started like putting out videos while YouTube was still like growing. Like when Facebook and YouTube were growing. And then she blew up on YouTube. And that's when all this insane shit started happening.
Jeez. Yeah.
But it was like her followers are commenting. Then when we did the video based off your video, like people were commenting like, yeah, fucking like so into it's so funny to see what people have to say about this.
Bro, I had you know, the guy I talked to in the video who interviewed me, James.
Oh, that was amazing.
There's a post on my Twitter. I don't know if you guys saw it, but like it's him talking about like, it's a video with him and another dude, and he's talking about the video that I made. And he's like, yeah, Oki, he's got a gargoyle demonic entity attached to his throat, and he's a psychopath, and his parents abused him.
Oh my
Just
God.
all this shit. And then his buddy, like, it's like, you know, he better be careful because everyone in the SSP community is now gonna try and psychically kill him.
What?
It's like it's the most, yeah, it's so fucking funny.
I was literally about to say if he'd ever touched on Sherry Shriner to be careful because her followers still, I mean, there's comments on our YouTube video of, sorry, hunters found her in the woods. Sherry never told her to do anything. Get your facts straight.
Yeah, dude, it's wild what these people believe in, but that's why we're out here trying to talk about it. So like, for example, that it like how much work went into that
video?
Because that's a lot.
I mean, yeah. It's from May till, I mean, basically, like as soon as James posted the video, the interview that we did in Vegas to his channel, actually, I had to wait a few weeks for him to do that. Like, I was like, can I give you just money? Can you post it after or something? And he's like, no problem. I've been on missions, but I'll post it ASAP. Yeah. So basically, yeah, no, it was from May till December, basically, because that's like, it was right around the time I finished my video, like about 2 weeks after that, he posted the interview. And as soon as he did that, I added the final bit. I don't know if you guys remember it, where I talk about like, oh yeah, he finally posted it.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, it's several months. I mean, that's
wow.
That is obviously I'm not working like every hour of the day on it, but it's like there's a lot of, I would say like on a good day, like 3 to 5 hours a day, something like that. You know, especially if I'm editing the video, then, you know, it's like, you gotta write it, you gotta make research, write, record, edit, you know, so it's a process.
We got to get into the writing aspect. We just research, hit record, and see what the fuck happens.
Yep.
I think that's our approach. You know, like there's a guy, Wendigoon, who he's a huge YouTuber, and he does like a lot of conspiracy stuff too. And he decided early on, he's like, well, I'm not gonna edit better than like someone like Nexpo or Let Me Know, but you know, I know this stuff and I can research it. So what he just does is he turns on his camera and he just talks. He does like tier lists. He'll do iceberg stuff.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
and it does really well. It does really well. It does. Algorithm.
We've used his videos for quite a bit of inspiration.
Yeah, one of our friends.
I think not last episode, but the episode before, when I was at your house, we did.
Yeah, we
watched one of the iceberg ones.
Yeah, because our friend Glenn, he'll send it to us every now and then.
And Will.
That's right. I mean, that's why I love having this guy around, Because if I do find a conspiracy that I don't send to him and I just drop on his plate the day we record, he's got the capability and the level-headedness to say, okay, I hear what you're saying, Colin, but let's have a reality check and let's talk about what's actually possible here.
But that's also why I love Oki's videos, because it's like
it's both.
Shows
you got such a
shows
good
Colin's
mix.
brain, and then in comes Oki with the like, okay, now let me fucking figure it all out.
Yeah,
It's
so
great.
you're like the skeptic.
Oh yeah,
Pretty much, yeah.
He's the debunker.
I call myself the resident debunker, but sometimes he gets me.
Sometimes I do.
To be honest, I'm not a conspiracy theorist that much at all, to be honest. I find it interesting. Like I like like Art Bell Coast to Coast. I don't know if you guys know that. It's an old radio program. This guy used to be on at midnight. I've only caught it through like YouTube and stuff like that, but he used to be like a huge, like one of the biggest radio shows on, and he just have like paranormal experts like ghost hunters and Bigfoot searchers and like UFO ufologists and all these people, and he never questioned anything that they said. So they just be like, yeah, the other day my grandma spontaneous's combusted, and he'd be like, oh really?
Oh,
tell
me
me
talking
more.
some Fire Force stuff right now,
dude. What is Fire Force?
So Fire Force is a anime where people spontaneously combust just out of the blue, and it's supposedly when they spontaneously combust, they turn into this demon from hell that just tries to burn everything in their path down.
Interesting.
Oh shit, dude. I watch some anime, but I haven't heard of that. But
it's on Hulu and Funimation.
Okay, so yeah, I'll check that out. But yeah, no, Art Bell was great. He's dead now. He died a few years ago. But yeah, radio legend. And he would just like go like watch his like, and I think it's still on YouTube if you look up just like Art Bell Coast to Coast Shadow People. Or
Shadow People.
Yeah, there's a great episode, Shadow People, like broadcast. And there's also the one that he did with John Lear, the old like the ex-naval pilot who like saw a bunch of UFOs and stuff. Yeah. John Lear is like a really renowned like ufologist, and yeah, they just talk about the whole the background of UFO sightings and shit since like because that's the really just like it really got into popular culture by like 1947, I want to say. And then since then, like it's exploded, but like it's a great episode that Art Bell does with John Lear where they just talk about the whole history of UFO sightings and shit like that.
Have you ever logged onto the app Gaia?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah, I use that for the video actually.
Yep.
Actually, I think I still subscribe to Gaia. I don't think I got rid of my subscription.
You can't. There's so many good things on that thing.
I gotta hop on.
Do you remember?
Well, the shit you say to me from Gaia, I'm like, I can't. I'm already on Reddit. I can't get into some weirder shit. But like,
Oki might remember this name. Does the name Emery Smith ring a bell?
Oh yeah. He's one of the Super Soldier guys.
Okay.
What is he like he was a scientist on Mars or something? Yeah,
so he was a scientist on Mars who came onto Gaia, and when he came onto Gaia, he exposed his truth, and then it's actually recorded that he had 2 car crashes that he goes on to say, if you look at the camera recording, shouldn't have happened. So he equated it to a hit put out on him because of the information he was saying. And then because of how believable and how to the heart he was speaking, he took over as the host of what is the name of it? Oh, I can't remember, but it's the same conversations where they have Randy Kramer and
Cosmic Disclosure.
Cosmic Disclosure, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. It is one of the it's no holds bars. Say whatever you want that comes to mind about the topic you're on. So Randy Kramer, Oki talks about Randy Kramer. He's the guy that's the deep marine that's been from the ground up genetically modified.
Yeah.
He comes on, he's on there for I think 3 or 4 episodes. His 3 or 4 episodes, some of the most viewed that Emery Smith ever has.
I think what holds me back is I just can't believe these are like real people that I might accidentally bump into.
Yeah.
It's insane, man. Wait, so I had a question before we dove into all this radio and YouTube stuff. If you aren't like that into conspiracies, what inspired the channel like to shed light on these crazy stories? Or you just like making video? Like what made Oki, or what made you do the content you're doing if you're not even like crazy into it like fucking this guy?
I'm definitely a skeptic. I guess like the closest I get to like believing conspiracy theories are either the like obvious ones. Like I did a video about gay frogs, and like obviously the frogs aren't turning gay. They're hermaphroditic frogs.
No, that video.
So I find that compelling, like in the kind of what's that, like the JFK movie by I forget that Oliver Stone. Like he used to make all these conspiracy movies. I'm a big movie fan, and I like the Coen brothers, and I like how they do deal with the absurd, like the thing of my channel. It's like the theater of the absurd.
Yeah.
I get a big kick out of listening to people say the most crazy shit. I don't know. I find it funny and interesting. And there's like storytelling to it as well that I can find myself lost in that as well. It's just like, it's just interesting and it sucks me in and stuff. And, not that I believe it for that, like for the most part, you know, I'm not that credulous. But I find it entertaining.
And you're into the idea of documenting it for entertainment, like, because your shit is very entertaining now that you say that. And especially knowing now that the Coen brothers are an inspiration. They're fucking great. I'm in the film industry, so I feel the same way.
Correct. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, like I love. Yeah, those guys are amazing. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, like I mean, they what they do is their stuff is like grounded in reality. If you like take something like a movie like Fargo, where you know it's ostensibly about this pregnant cop solving a mystery, but then at the same time you get this absurdity, like Steve Buscemi being put through a wood chipper. So like there's this kind of like it's got one foot in reality and then one foot in the absurdity. And I kind of try and mold my videos based off of that same ethos.
That's awesome. I mean, you definitely got it down.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you. Actually, I didn't start by doing like conspiracy stuff. Like this is actually a newer thing since I did this one video about this guy, Steve Rocco. And at the beginning of the video, there's like this opening where it's like the Conspiracy Files episode 1. I didn't continue to do that opening, but since then, my channel has kind of gone in that direction.
Gravitated towards that.
But before that, it was mostly just like absurd people, like the John McAfee thing. It's like on my channel, it shows it's like from 6 months ago. Actually, I made that in like 2018.
What?
So, yeah, that's like a really old. It was a series of videos that I put into one long video, and I re-uploaded it after I got an editor to update and stuff and make it nice, and I added like all the stuff after he died in prison, but that's a re-upload, and it says that in the description too.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
that's what we had on. While we were setting up, because I was like, if we're about to talk to dude, let's refresh ourselves on the videos. And Colin is a big John McAfee conspiracist. The episode we did on it, I think that was one of the ones you won me over. But yeah, that whole story is insane. But that exactly what you're talking about. The re-upload is what we had playing while we were plugging all the wires in and shit.
One question for you, sir.
Mhm.
Do you believe
I knew it.
that it's an actual suicide?
Yeah.
You
Yeah, I do.
do?
Obviously, I can't prove it, but I think that he was like 75 at the time. If he was extradited to the United States, he would spend the rest of his life in prison. He's making a lot of really depressed tweets, like while he was in prison in Spain. I mean, the guy spent like 7 months there.
Yeah,
In February of that same year, he tried to commit suicide. So this was his second attempt that was actually successful, right?
okay.
The first time was in February. Yeah, this guy, like, he really had such adventurous life, and the idea of, I think, for him spending the rest of his life in prison would be so daunting that it would be the last thing he would want to do.
Okay, so I see where you're going. How do you feel about his wife coming out and saying John was never suicidal? John never had these thoughts. We had conversations all the time. We were going to battle this extradition case to the absolute extradition case to the T until we had nothing left. Do you think she was trying to just?
She might just be trying to like save his name in a
save the name or boost the narrative.
Oki just said that. No, not boost the narrative. Just like, because obviously suicide's looked at in a certain light. Like, you're weak, you're this, you're that, and we all know John McAfee did some wild shit.
So much to hide. So it makes sense as to why he's saying it, because if you are extradited back to the U.S.,
then why would you want to be locked up in prison if you're a world traveler and you're doing all this crazy shit?
But if your wife is coming out,
but his younger wife would come out and be like, "Let me save the name.
Yeah,
I'm still a McAfee. Let me save the name." Right? Maybe. I don't know. What does Oki think?
So, yeah, I mean, I value her input in the situation, and yeah, my heart goes out to her. It's terrible. Regardless of what McAfee might have done or whatever in his life, it's a horrible thing for her, and I'm sure she was grieving a lot, and she's still grieving. But from what I understand about people who are suicidal is that they can easily, you could be talking to them one day and it's they seem lively and happy and they're full of life, and then all of a sudden they kill themselves. I don't know if you remember Linkin Park, like the lead singer of Linkin Park.
Don't get me started on Chester Bennington.
Yeah, like, I mean, there's footage of him. Yeah. He's just hanging out with friends and family, and that's like the same day he committed suicide, or if I remember correctly.
Hanging by
he's
door
the
now.
Fucking Lincoln.
So
Chester
not to
Bennington
get too off track, but if you would ever,
I mean, I don't think we're on a track. We're just,
if you would ever want to look into, you remember when Haiti had the earthquake?
Yeah, sure.
And you remember which president or former president got really invested in Haiti?
Was it George Bush?
It was Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton.
Okay. Yeah.
So Bill and
Hillary.
In mind,
he's in a different.
That is true.
Country.
So Bill and Hillary,
the intricacies of American politics, hopefully don't affect you.
Have a lot of dark history behind them.
The Clinton body count.
Exactly.
I'm gonna grab a beer while you say some crazy shit.
Yes, please. So now the Clinton Foundation is raising all this money for the Haiti earthquake. As you know, Linkin Park became a big group that was like, let us help, let us do our good dues, and let's actually make a difference for these people. Chester Bennington, while he was in Haiti, started seeing a growth in the children that would go missing, unaccounted for, just disappear.
Mm-hmm.
He began to follow the funds of where he was receiving them, which foundations were giving them to him, so he could put on this good show in good faith that he believed he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
He traced it all the way back to the Clinton Foundation. So now he begins to equate that the Clinton Foundation has some sort of boots on the ground, per se, of people they hired who would go in, try and quote unquote help these children. And now these children would go missing. If you continue to read, Chester Bennington then finds out that a man by the name of John Podesta is helping the Clintons and funneling the money and making sure it gets there.
It's like Hillary Clinton's like what campaign manager. He's like a Pizzagate guy.
Yes, sir.
Also a big UFO guy.
Big UFO guy. Chester now starts researching into who is this John Podesta character. He stumbles upon I don't know if I would say stumble, but he came to the conclusion that this guy kind of shares a strong resemblance to me and my childhood and when my biological father disappeared. There was a facial recognition match done by a computer software between Chester Bennington and John Podesta. There is an 80% facial recognition match, which is only possible between a father and son.
Wait, who's his father?
John Podesta
is Chester Bennington's father.
So that's what people, and that's what people are saying he stumbled upon, because if he's finding out that his mom had an affair before he was born, now he stumbles upon this guy who's helped funding this project that he's doing for the goodwill of the people. The foundation that's funding him is tied into children missing out of Haiti while they're in a time of crisis. He does a someone does a facial recognition match on a computer software between him and John Podesta. 80% comes back. He may have found it out, or it may have gotten back to him. And that's when I start to think that when he dove into let's stop child trafficking, let's stop this child endangerment, and he got into who was his name? Chris Cornell.
Yeah.
And because I don't know if you know, but he was huge, lifelong friends with Chris Cornell.
And the Soundgarden guy.
Yes, sir. And Chris Cornell was working on a project called the Silent Children documentary. Chester Bennington donated heavily into helping Chris Cornell get that project done. So now he's diving.
Wasn't the whole documentary about everything you just said?
Exactly. So he's trying to get all this out, trying to expose the truth. And now, because he's exposing all this truth and he's dove into such a dark spectrum of reality, he starts to show the characteristics of depression, which is why his friends at the time all said, yeah, he's got, he was really introspective and against himself, and he was just in a super bad place. But if you're finding out that your possible biological father is aiding you in boosting your campaign, all while the meantime stealing children from under your nose in the name of quote unquote good faith, you're gonna be depressed and angry. And now onto his unfortunate demise. His suicide was hanging by doorknob. And the only way
Colin's really stuck on the whole doorknob thing.
And
this.
the coroner,
that's his kryptonite of this
is my kryptonite. The coroner went on to say the only way you can do a hanging by doorknob is to tie it around the other side, put it over the door, close the door, and unfortunately put it around your neck and just fall forward. Now, if that is how he did it, if you were to fall forward, the second you lost consciousness, you would turn to the side. Your body would go limp. You'd probably roll over. And if you were to roll to the side, the tension on the sheet or the rope, if done incorrectly, would loosen.
But what if it's done correctly?
If it's done correctly, now, then all my prayers go out to the family and him. That's a terrible way to end your life. But there was no autopsy report done on Chester Bennington.
That's odd.
No autopsy report. The family didn't want it, and they literally just said, all right, he unfortunately passed. That's the end of the story.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't get over the fact that, he might have found out his mother had an affair with a super powerful politician. This super powerful politician now has ties to a former president and a former first lady who are well known and tied to multiple child trafficking cases.
But do you see in a way how that's way more elaborate than him just killing himself?
It's completely,
I fucking love
it's
this guy.
so fucking out there, and it's so, you have to go through loops and hurdles to connect it. But
that's
that's
why we're both like, do you see the issue here?
I mean, that's exactly why I love having you two being like, hey, pal,
Simmer down.
you literally had to go through a hurdle, then crawl under a crevice in the
You had to go
ground
through like
get to this.
you had to go through like a Marine training fucking boot camp to get to the destination.
Exactly. But
I think it was at the point where you said that John Podesta is his dad.
there's a lot of dots you have to connect.
I will give it to Colin. Dots connecting aside, they do look fairly similar, but also like a lot of people look fairly similar.
Can you see us right now, Oki?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
I mean, I hope so. We got the camera rolling.
If I have the picture
in my mind, like John Podesta looks like Anthony Fauci. I don't even know how John Podesta looks like.
A little bit, but he has more of the Bennington like round head.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
He does kind of look like Fauci though. That's valid.
Oh, here it is. So you ready?
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
That's
right. It's all the way up there.
All the way over there. He's not gonna see that.
I can't really see it.
No,
I can see like half of his face.
It's not focusing.
Yeah, it's definitely not focusing.
We'll put the picture.
It is funny how like John Podesta is like, for some people he's literally part of the cabal and he's trafficking children, and then for UFO people he's like, well, this guy's gonna lead to disclosure and we're gonna find the truth about UFOs eventually. So there's kind of like this kind of
dude, imagine being this
tension.
guy though.
I know. Well,
like what if he's just like, dude,
his brother,
I'm investing and donating.
Shit,
but what
his brother has all that weird fucking art.
His brother literally has child free art hanging in his house.
Yeah, that's a lot. Gonna have to bleep that.
Oh, that's right. We do have to bleep that.
Okay, we get a lot of stress. That's another question. Wait, let's toss all this aside. How do you avoid YouTube shutting your shit down? Because we have a big issue with that.
Oh, actually, the secret space program thing got age restricted. I had to complain about it on Twitter. Literally every single time this happens, and it's almost every single time I post a video.
I wish we would get age restricted. They just straight up delete the video and give us a strike, and then we can't post.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
That's
I mean,
up.
at this point, we have a permanent warning because we did a video called "Inject Me, Daddy."
Oh yeah,
and it was right when the vaccine came out, and Colin was arguing that there were nanobots in it to track you, and the whole time I was saying, "Well, isn't there an iPhone in your pocket?" And YouTube gave us a permanent strike for that. It's still up on. No, it's not. That's up on Vimeo because YouTube wouldn't let me re-upload it. Then
That's
we did
ridiculous.
Then we did a video about September 11th. Can't say the actual thing. And the whole video was us debunking the crazy rumors around it. And then YouTube deleted that shit, gave us a strike, and we couldn't post for like 2 weeks. So maybe yours is just more professionally crafted.
You know what it is? It's so YouTube, it's not like human reviewers, even though they'll get back to you, say, we've confirmed it with human reviewers. It's always bots, right? So they just pick up on keywords and then you get hit.
Yeah. I've heard that if you like burn the first like 10, 15 minutes and then dive into shit, that they're less likely to hit you for it.
Yeah. I think that's definitely a thing. Dude, I can't even tell you how many times like I've gotten hate speech for talking about this movie called Buck Breaking, this documentary. It's just like this ridiculous like black supremacist kind of like documentary about how the media is trying to turn everybody gay and stuff like that. And I was talking about it on my second channel, and then they gave me a hate speech strike. So like I do what I do in every single situation that this ever occurs for me. I complain about it on Twitter.
Yeah.
And luckily I have enough of a following, and I have a lot of like, people who can retweet it and stuff, and usually that works. But it's ridiculous because it's literally you're dealing with like AI here. Who they have all of the videos, they have it transcribed, they know exactly like all the words that you're saying in the videos. Their ability to transcribe like anything it's remarkable. So they have the whole script out there, and then they just like hone in on like one or two things here,
keywords,
and then boom, they just take your shit down. And it seems like the only recourse really is to complain about it on Twitter, which is unfortunate because like if someone's not in my position where, like I'm not like the biggest YouTube channel, but like I have enough of a following where I can get YouTube to react because people will be outraged on my behalf. That's where like someone like me gets lucky. But otherwise, like there's no like fucking YouTube hotline that you can call and make things work out.
Excuse me, you took my video down?
Yeah, this doesn't exist, right? There's no way to get in contact with them. And
that's why we made the Vimeo, because I mean that's the Inject Me Daddy is the only one up there, because
oh my god.
My girlfriend pointed out like, well, Vimeo isn't gonna give a fuck. So just start almost like a Patreon, like a second channel where all the shit that gets deleted can go.
Oki,
I heard a crack. What was that? I heard a very distinct can crack.
Oh,
was it a LaCroix?
No. What? No, it's Sprite.
Oh hell yeah!
What do you mean? As a mixer?
No, he's drinking Sprite, bro.
No. I did have I had some cheap beer earlier. I had a couple cans of Bush.
Oh, there you go.
Bush. So we actually, both of us, was it both of us?
I don't know what you're going to say. I don't
we
know.
went through and we found peer-reviewed research articles.
Oh, no, that was you.
On the actual nanobot technology that is in existence today.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Are you relating this to the notorious episode 51 Inject Me Daddy?
Because went through the time,
but the shit you sent me was just articles. The shit you sent me was like, yeah, the technology exists. Not they're putting it in vaccines.
But if it's a peer review article that it exists, I mean, yes, I understand why they're gonna flag us and take us down because of how
Oki just changed my life. Once again, now you're just you're pulling dots and connecting them.
But if there's nanobot technology, what is so wrong with us?
Why wouldn't they put it in
a
fucking? Because we were relating it to something that immediately gets you a strike on YouTube, which I'm not going to say out loud, but I'm sure all three of us know what we're talking about.
That is exactly why they did it. But if it's real, what's so wrong about talking about it?
We did more than we brought it into a different.
Honestly,
I think that I think that you have a very real point here where so like I was talking about Art Bell, the radio host, where he had all these people on and they just talked about the craziest shit, Bigfoot, aliens, all this shit, and that was one of the most popular radio shows, like just back in like fucking in the early 2010s too, and all of a sudden. I mean, you can't talk about anything. For me, I don't feel like someone thinking that the globalists are extracting adrenochrome from children and harvesting it. I don't think that people thinking that and talking about that is that harmful.
Neither.
But all of a sudden, because like there's been a handful of crazy people who unfortunately have killed people because of this. Now it's a domestic terrorist threat. But before it was just people bullshitting about, crazy shit. Like, dude, you're like, Colin here, he's smoking a joint and he's talking about nanobots, and I don't think that that's that harmful.
I don't either.
No, especially, hey, YouTube, get to know this guy. He's a good guy.
I promise I'll help
He
you.
means
in the
no
long
harm.
run. No, that you have such a good point. It's not, I mean, but then again, in the day and age that has evolved from circumstance, there tends to be a harsher view on anybody who tries to say something out of the ordinary, even if it's something tiny or small.
Which I think is very unfortunate.
Yeah, it is.
You still have people just, even if I were to say, you know what, these clouds look kind of pink today, someone would be like, you're a psychopath. They were orange, and if you ever disagree with me, I will cancel you.
You lost me.
Well, there's that.
That's
there's
just
that
an
kind
extreme view. Oh, sorry for spitting.
There's
Did
that kind
you?
of like
I don't even know what's going on.
like Redditor type who's like, you know, as soon as you bring something, it's like source. You
Yeah,
got a source, and it's like it's
dude,
like a
on
pelican.
every subreddit
Oh,
ever.
like the Nemo pelican. Mine,
Yeah,
mine.
literally.
Source?
You post a fucking meme to our funny in the first comment. Source?
Source,
Like,
source.
dude, relax.
It's really lame because I do like, I'm a fan of this stuff. I enjoy it. I think the approach that I take is different than Colin. But I genuinely enjoy this stuff. So I find myself going more so on like Odyssey or Rumble to find people talking about batshit stuff more than YouTube. Or what I do is my trick on YouTube is I sort by upload date. So if you look up something and you sort by upload date, you'll pretty much get people still talking about QAnon. And like you'll even still get like Alex Jones on YouTube, full episodes of Alex Jones. If you just like sort by upload date. So yeah, it's unfortunate that this stuff is like seen as a national security threat, which I don't think it is.
Yeah, neither, especially when it's like low level fucking Colin smoking a joint. Like,
Yeah,
come
what
on,
is it?
man.
We have
We have like 25 subscribers.
Exactly.
Like, we're not
It'd be completely
fucking
different if we had
weaponizing
5.6
anyone.
billion subscribers.
5.6 billion.
That's more than I think exists on the earth.
I
don't know.
I don't know.
But if we had that much, I can understand why people would be outraged because of our platform.
But then the reason I ask is because, like, I mean, Oki's talking about crazy shit,
But
but
he
in
does
like,
it in such a respectful
Yeah.
way.
but then you watch Flagrant 2. It's like,
Yeah.
how the fuck are these guys allowed on YouTube?
That is so true.
Flagrant 2.
What is that?
It's Andrew Schultz, who's a comedian, a New York
yeah.
comedian, and
Yeah.
Akash Singh, who he's like currently bringing up
Well-
in the, and they
well,
just,
I'm gonna.
it's exactly what it sounds like. Like, they just get why they.
I know exactly. I know that. I know Andrew Schultz. And I've listened. I listen to this show like every once in a while. But here's the thing, right? Is because they're big,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
so they can get away with it.
But
so
also,
they have more clout and like they have more of a in with YouTube, and they're
Yeah.
they're not just YouTubers, they're mainstream.
yeah,
So
I
it's
guess
like
it goes
Nicki
back
Minaj.
to-
Nicki Minaj could be half naked in her music videos, but YouTubers can't do that, right?
True. I guess if I did that, it'd be an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess it goes back to what you were saying. Like, they have the following to be like, why the fuck did you take this down? Because they had Alex Jones on a couple months ago, like 2-3 months ago, and it was up.
It was
for
taken
like,
down, right?
Yeah, it was up for like half a day, got taken down. I was on YouTube last night watching their newest episode, and the suggested video was Alex Jones.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
somehow they got to put back up. And I guess, well, not I guess, it's what you're saying. They have the following to be like, why?
Yep.
Because also the whole time they're doing what you and I do, which is just like shitting on Alex Jones. But since it's Alex Jones, he's just like not happy to be there, but like just saying what he wants to say. And also they got him shit faced, which made for a great podcast.
Yeah, I don't see, like, I made this comparison one time before, because I did go on InfoWars. Like
you were on InfoWars?
Yeah, I went on Harrison.
No
I went on.
way.
I went on Harrison Smith's show. I don't know if Colin knows.
Do you know Harrison Smith?
Wait, who do you say?
Harrison Smith.
Yeah, he's one of the new guys.
Yeah, I was on Harrison Smith's show, right? And then after that, because I was getting people like giving me shit for that, right? And being like, well, why would you go on this known conspiracy theorist, misinformation spreaders thing? And how dare you? And I'm just like, dude, if the New York Times approached me and said, we want to do a profile piece on me, I would say yes, even though they spread the Iraq war, right?
Yep.
At the lead up to the Iraq war, it was all these New York Times warmongers like just spreading bullshit and really just beating on the drums of war. That the media is complicit in that. And all of these people talking about Alex Jones and Sandy Hook, like, I mean, you people have done way, way worse, you know. And what they traded up for is they traded up for like their intelligence agency and military contacts that give them the created like they curate what they give to them, right?
Yeah.
The tips and stuff, and that's what they're trading it up for. And it's also because a lot of them are also warmongers. That's like what happened with Iraq. So, you know, give me shit for like going on InfoWars. Well, fuck you.
Fuck you.
No, I love that. That's awesome.
Oh my, how? Why? I'm okay. I mean, yes, there's a part of me that's like, whoa, InfoWars, Alex Jones page. Alex Jones is the devil.
You're saying if they emailed us right now and they're like, yo, pull up.
I'm going on immediately, but I understand why people would be so apprehensive to ever give you a attaboy for going on such a discriminated person's platform.
I mean, I'm the type of guy, no publicity is bad publicity. Hop on whatever fucking platform you want to hop on.
That's the train I'm
still
on.
getting your name out there.
And the guy that Oki went on, he's not a bad guy.
I've never heard of him. I don't.
He
to me, InfoWars was Alex Jones. I didn't know it was a whole like conglomerate.
He's not pulling an Alex Jones where he's ripping his shirt off, screaming at the camera, going, "They're making the frogs gay," and then storming off the set.
Shouts out Oki's video.
Shout out Oki. He's not doing that. He's well dressed. He's professional. He keeps his composure the whole entire time.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like. I mean, that's also was the point of my analogy, right? Because like, if you want to talk about who's complicit in causing harm to a huge number of people, is it Alex Jones with Sandy Hook, or is it the New York Times with the Iraq War?
Yeah.
Right. So even though, you know, InfoWars and Alex Jones, they constantly spread misinformation, everybody knows that it's a conspiracy program. Everybody knows that it's like he's the silly guy who rips off his shirt and screams about New World Order.
Till he's purple.
How did we get to a point where we openly satirized people like Alex Jones and thought he was funny to now he is the most dangerous man in America? I just think it's silly that like the way that people see these things now.
I think we're all on a quest, at least the three of us, to figure that out.
Yeah, we are. Because
I just don't know how you like what we've all said. If you're just talking on a platform, no matter how many followers, well, not no matter, like if Joe Rogan came out and like supported a bad cause, that could, I understand that only because that's the biggest thing like that we know of
as of now.
But in terms of InfoWars, like Oki just said, like everyone knows it's bullshit. Watch any of it, like
yeah,
and then he's the silly conspiracy guy.
Yeah, and then you can argue, oh, there are people that thoroughly believe this, blah, 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 blah. If you're dumb enough to thoroughly believe that, are you really a threat to society?
Alex Jones has come out and said, I do get my articles from the mainstream narrative, but the things I say, I tend to spin them a little bit. I tend to mix them with a little fact and fiction.
a lot of fiction.
That was his defense in court, right? It's that he's doing entertainment. He has an entertainment program.
I mean, what's so different from his entertainment program and Tucker Carlson's?
Nothing except
Exactly. What's different between his and Bill Maher's?
Didn't he get canceled?
I would say that there's a different level. Like so Bill Maher is like it's entertainment, but he's a little bit more like. So I would actually posit it like, what's the difference between Alex Jones and CNN? As much as I don't like CNN, I think CNN is terrible. It's just entertainment, right?
Yeah.
They actually have to fact check.
Yeah.
So they'll be slanted, right? So they'll bring in commentators and have people argue and like do all this shit and like push their agenda, but at the same time they still have to be reasonably accurate, or else like someone's gonna get fired. Where Alex Jones, it's like I was listening to Alex Jones the other day talk about fucking, oh man, what was it like? That if you take the vaccine, it's gonna erase your immune system. Like, it's the most ridiculous. Like, but it's funny to me. So maybe it's just me being. Maybe in a way I'm just being selfish. Maybe this is the worst cancer on the planet, which I'm joking here, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I find it entertaining. I do listen to Alex Jones still from time to time.
And to build off that, like if you're someone who listens to that and you're like, can't get the vaccine, I love my immune system, can't get the vaccine.
This is truth.
Are you really a threat because you're that fucking dumb?
Yeah.
No, I mean, we're talking about people who would look at it like an article from The Onion and believe it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But does that lead to uprise and threats and shit like that? I don't think so.
That makes me wonder, does Alex Jones need to transition into more of a Tim Dillon, Joe Rogan-esque show?
He can't.
Now he's got way too big of a platform. He can't just start from scratch. But what I've noticed is when he was with Tim Dillon and with Joe Rogan, people took what he said with a grain of salt compared to what they take it on InfoWars as.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he needs
but I also think people do that. And I remember texting you watching Joe Rogan, Tim Dillon, and Andrew Schultz. And I was like, oh, someone's there to check him. Given all three of them are comedians and they all just excited him more. But at the end of the day, when he said crazy outlandish shit, they were like, whoa, wait, no.
I wonder if he'd boost himself if he were to get a person to do that. Just sit on his little side desk while the backdrop of him is literally the nations he thinks that are.
Dude, imagine like the Jon Stewart, Alex Jones show. You just have polar fucking opposites.
That would be great.
That would be so amazing.
That would be the greatest show of all time. I would
yes, it would.
Every single episode of that.
If that was only on a subscription service, I'm buying that subscription service.
Yeah, same.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Another thing. Thank you so much. We just pitched another $1 billion
another
idea.
Great idea.
We have a running joke that with our episodes, that if anyone from Netflix were to watch our podcast, they'd be able to make a suspense action or horror film.
The fucking bodega guy, after he listened to the not the Disney one, the one before it. I have trouble keeping up since I'm our producer and editor as well. The whatever 2 episodes ago.
He was
like, dude, I was listening to it. That could be a Netflix show. And I was like, thanks, fucking.
That's our running
bodega
joke
guy.
Because sometimes we'll break it down where we'll actually start talking to each other in a heated conversation that is extremely civil, but
also, as we all just agreed, that'd be the greatest show of all time.
Exactly. It's coming out as a movie script.
TV script.
Well, would it be?
Well, you guys got a whole like branding going on. You got a website. You guys got more than me when it comes to like, the what's it called? The accessories to everything. Like, you got it all set up, your branding and.
We're just trying to build it.
But
Don't you guys have merch as well?
yeah, I was about to say I'd buy
Yeah,
at
that was only
least-
because my friend during Corona was like, "Hey, I found this website. You could like make your own custom shit. You guys should make a page."
Oh, okay, yeah.
if you dropped like a sweatshirt or t-shirt design with the cover photo for your YouTube video of the Alex Jones "Are They Making the Frogs Gay" episode, I'd buy a merch with that frog on it.
I have that. I have hoodies. I sell hoodies. Now you just
Now you
buried
have
a
to buy
hole,
one.
dude. Now you have
Now
to
you
buy
have
it.
to buy
Go.
one.
I'm going to. Do you have a link on your page?
I think I have the Teespring in my.
Yeah,
your
that's
Instagram?
that's what we use. It's super fucking easy to make merch. That's the only reason we have merch. It's free to make designs and then
Yeah.
set prices and shit.
I'm
Yeah,
pulling
you
it
just,
up right
yeah,
now.
You just buried yourself a hole, dude.
There it is.
Yeah,
Oh,
bro.
Whoa, what is
he's
the
actually
other one?
he's actually like high key buying it right now.
Oh wow.
What?
Okay.
Whoa, wait, what anime is the other hoodie from?
That's his
Okay, so that's
intro
an
screen.
yeah, it's an anime version of my the OKI girl.
Okay.
Oh, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, that's fuck, I forgot the artist's name. I want to show her. I forget her name though.
Dude, this sweatshirt with the frog is wild.
Yeah.
That's a great sweater.
This is awesome.
He's selecting his size.
Large, add to
Add to
cart,
cart.
proceed to checkout. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Oh my
All right.
gosh.
While you do that, Oki, we love you so much. We have to double stack. We're an hour in. I don't want to wrap things up. I'm just pointing that out.
I only have one question. I just want to nerd out a little bit. So I remember in the Super Soldier episode when you talked about the how you told him that you were the Black Samurai.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That whole fucking thing was just
What are
perfection.
you caught up on One Piece at all?
No.
Okay, what
No,
animes have you watched then?
Oh no, I mean I read One Piece when I was like, I'm actually 30, by the way. Like, so I'm way older than I look. I was reading One Piece and like Naruto and that shit when I was like 12. I watched a lot of anime and I still read manga all the time. I'm not caught up on One Piece though.
Oh my gosh. I was literally about to say, because when you were in your backyard pulling that samurai sword, all I could think about and hope was that you were going to put a transition in there with Zoro just pulling his swords out.
Is Zoro anime too?
Yeah, Zoro's in
Yeah.
One Piece.
Yeah, Zoro with the katana in his mouth.
Yes,
And
sir.
he's holding the two. Yeah.
Did
Actually, if you
they
look-
take that from like Antonio Banderas with the like
Mm.
Zoro?
No, because he doesn't put the blade in his mouth. He puts the hilt in his mouth.
Yeah, he literally goes, it's his three sword style.
Mm.
Wow.
Onigiri.
Yeah, if you just look up like Oki's weird stories on Google, one of the pictures you'll see is like me, literally Zorro style with the knife in my mouth and holding a machete and a katana.
That's
That's
I was
awesome.
hoping to nerd out because I was gonna ask what he thought the ending of One Piece was gonna be.
Well,
Oh,
maybe
I-
next time he's on and he's caught up, we could talk about it.
Yeah,
Because I have so many thoughts on how the ending's gonna be.
yeah, I have no idea. I'm not caught up on that at all.
Hey, as soon as you catch up and whenever you feel like coming back on, our
Mhm.
line's always open.
Hell yeah, I watched some episodes of your show, and it's good. Like, I mean, you guys got a good thing going. Good branding. You're on top of everything, and yeah, I wish you guys the best of luck. And I also really appreciated the way that you guys reacted to my thing instead of just like showing
Yeah.
the video in full. You actually took the effort to talk about it, and yeah, that is like the main reason I was like, okay, yeah, let's hit these guys up.
Oh,
Fuck yeah.
trust us. It probably won't be the last.
I mean, if you're willing to come back, we'd love to have you whenever you want.
Well, dude, check out when my next video comes out. It's
I was gonna ask you about that. We were talking about it before we hit record. We're very excited. I was hoping you would say you're working on something.
dude, it's big. It's big. It's and it's
Let's
gonna be
go.
wild. But this guy, Jack Idema, who when he was 45, he went to Afghanistan right after 9/11, and he decided he's gonna get the bounty on Osama bin Laden's head. He starts rounding up all these suspected terrorists with his fake made up paramilitary task force. He starts torturing them and shit. He gets thrown in prison there. But the story is so fucking wild. It's literally like it's like I don't know, some people have uncles like this where they're just like, yeah, by the way, when I was 17, I was a Green Beret and I was in Laos, and I was you know, what's it called, secret forces, special forces operative. Yeah, like that kind of guy. But he actually ended up tricking the media, you know, the military, NATO, all of these things into actually believing he was that. And he was just like operating like and doing all this extrajudicial arrests and apprehensions of people. And you know, like I interviewed, actually one of the guys I interviewed for the video went to prison. He was in prison with this guy because he was busted for allegedly trying to kill Bill Clinton. So there's so much to this video, and it's looking good. It's gonna be good. It's probably gonna take like a month or a month and a half, maybe 2 months. But once it comes out, I'd love to come back on and talk about it.
Oh, dude,
Yes,
we would
sir.
love that. Please.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
fucking
You
crazy.
have my utmost interest and attention.
Fuck yeah, Oki, dude. Fuck yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right. If we didn't have to double stack, I'd
I
keep
was
this
gonna say,
going. But
just to reiterate, if you are watching this, please go check out Oki's page.
Oki's Weird Stories.
Oki's Weird Stories on YouTube.
I mean, we'll put all the
Fan-
YouTube, Twitter,
fantastic.
Instagram, all that shit in
You
the
could
bio.
spend your whole entire off day watching his videos. And if you do, feel free to message Couple Pine Spot or Oki himself.
I mean, Zoom could host like 250 people. Let's
That
get a
is
fucking
true.
let's get a dialogue going.
Imagine we had a super soldier meeting.
That
on
would be
Zoom.
so outrageously annoying to edit.
Oh my god.
Anyway, Oki, we
Yeah.
really appreciate you so much. We love you so much.
Yeah, guys,
gotta-
thank you so much for having me on. And
of course, man.
Yep, take care.
We
You
cannot
too.
wait to have you back. This is
Yeah.
a friendship I think both of us are extremely excited about.
So
Hell yeah,
happy.
dude. All right, guys.
It's been a blast, man. We'll talk
yeah.
to you when the fucking crazy ass new video comes out.
All right, bye-bye now.
See you,
Later.
pal. Wow, what a fucking guy.
Should I? Is the recording stopped? No,
No,
it's not.
not yet.
Oh,
What a
wait.
fucking bro.
This has been.
A Couple Pints Pod.
It's safe to say.
Thank you, Oki.
Yeah.
You are the man.
Fuck. I don't even know. It's safe to say that was amazing.
Wow.
I'm sweaty. Look, I'm sweaty.
Wow.
Through a white shirt. Oki yoked me up, dude. All right. See you in like 10 minutes. Okay, peace.
Woo.